Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. Today we'll be covering the Daoism religion and all it has to offer. We'll start by talking about the believed founder, then move into its major gods and figures, its core beliefs, where it originated and spread to, its created social structure, where it dominated, its effects in politics, and the involvement of women, all in the next 10 minutes. So let's get started.
Who founded the Daoism religion? Daoism does not name a tradition constituted by a founding thinker, even though the common belief is that a teacher named Laozi originated this school and wrote its major works, called the Daoism, also known as the Laozi. Laozi is traditionally regarded as the founder of the Taoist religion. The founding figure is Laozi, who flourished in the 6th century BCE, but whom little else is known. The religion's gods and other major figures. Taoism does not have a god in the way the Abrahamic religions do. There is no omnipotent being beyond the cosmos who created and controls the universe. Taoism has many gods, most of them borrowed from other cultures. These deities are within the universe and are themselves subject to the Tao. But the Tao itself is not God, nor is it a god, nor is it worshipped by the Taoists.
There are three major tenets to Daoism: Dao, Wu Wei, and Ziran. Dao refers to the way of everything, weather patterns, life and death, tide sequences, harvest cycles, and so on. Wu Wei is the art of accepting that things will happen on their own and not interfering with God's will. Ziran means the natural way of the universe in Taoist terms. Water is usually used as an example of Ziran because it can be soft and cleansing or destructive and purposeful. Daoism originated in China during the 6th century BCE when the Dao De Zhang was written by a Chinese philosopher known as Lao Tzu. The Dao De Zhang will later be used as the cornerstone of all Taoist teachings. Daoism spread because of Lao Tzu's journey to the West, his followers spreading their religion and philosophy. People who practiced Daoism believed their religion was right and wanted others to partake in their philosophy and religion.
Did Daoism ever create a social structure? And the answer to that question would be yes. Daoism did create a social structure soon after it became a religion around 1600 BCE. Daoism began to affect the social interaction by changing the ideas behind medicine and science for the Chinese people. Daoism also contributed to the practice of martial arts like Tai Chi and Wudang, which would begin to grow in popularity along with their religion. Daoism was a fast-growing religion thanks to its adaptability to fit the needs of its people, which attracted many who wanted a religion that could bend to their rules. Daoism was also greatly liked by the people throughout Southeast Asia due to its being a religion, quote, in tune with nature and the environment. Many Taoists believed that spirits resided within objects and natural occurrences, such as the mountains and rivers of the area. The people who wanted to follow a religion that contained belief in the natural spirits were given that chance finally. Where was Daoism regionally dominant by the year 1450 BCE? Daoism during the years around 1450 BCE was still in development and continued to develop throughout the Song dynasty, mostly in China. But after the religions Buddhism and Shinto were created, Taoism began to fall because, in part, the two new religions were formed to better suit the needs of the people in the area. And this is similar, actually, to the way Taoism was made to support Chinese tradition and beliefs.
How did Daoism impact politics? Well, if you're thinking that Daoism would suggest not to get involved with politics, you'd be right. Daoism wasn't a religion heavily focused on politics. Like anything, it did influence it, but that wasn't part of its teachings. When a Taoist was involved in politics or given a leadership role, they used a hands-off and minimal impact style of leadership. When the government is too intrusive, people lose their spirit. Act for the people's benefit, trust them, leave them alone. This is a passage from the primary Daoism religious text, the Dao De Jing, about the expected way to lead. It's believed that a good leader is one who is respected and whose instructions are willingly followed. Many other passages from the Dao De Jing talk about letting go and allowing the world to govern and fix itself. As I'm sure you can gather, Daoism wanted to refrain from negatively affecting the world, so they tried to affect it as little as possible. Though Daoism isn't a political movement, its general ideas have been used to promote freedom from society and government, like in the 1960s when it was used as part of a hippie movement, but this wasn't part of the religion or followed any of its teachings. But what does this mean for women in Daoism? Daoism was a religion that greatly respected women and valued their involvement in the religion just as much as men. The treatment of women is best expressed through the concept of yin-yang, which teaches that masculine and feminine are complementary and equal forces. Daoism is a gender-neutral religion emphasizing the importance and need for both genders, that one cannot exist without the other. The religion itself emphasizes many common feminine characteristics like the softness found in nature, modesty, and passiveness. Women are also responsible for creating life and are believed to be where creativity flows from, which is part of the reason they are greatly respected and mentioned in great light in the Daoism. Unlike many religions at the time, women were expected to be equally involved in the religion and could even take priestly roles. And while Daoism respected women, it wasn't enough to change the patriarchal ways of the time, so women were still expected to obey their fathers, husbands, and sons, and were not involved in politics. Okay, that's all we have for you today. But let's just do a little recap. Daoism is a religion formed in the 6th century BCE China by Laozhi. Its major religious text is the Daoism. There aren't any gods, and its followers, the Daonists, focus on being one with nature. It briefly spread to Japan and Korea, but was dominated by Buddhism. It stayed prominent in China, though. Daonists stay out of politics and believe the world and universe can handle itself. And women were greatly respected in the religion and thought of as equals. Okay, seriously, that's all. We hope you learned a little something about Daoism today, and thanks for listening.